Good evening and welcome back to Kevin's TV. Again, in my video, excuse any background noises that you all may hear. But for today's video, we'll be talking about yesterday's story in which I talked about the first licensed pastor in the United States. And I also brought up in that video of the 4 innocent black girls who were killed in the church bombing of 16th Street Baptist Church, in Birmingham, Alabama. Those 4 little girls were of the name Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, and Carol Robertson. And then you also had Carol Denise those little girls were at the age of 14. You had Carol Denise McNair at the age of 11, in which she was killed in that church bombing also. These little girls were leaving Sunday school, and this was during Sunday morning worship. They were killed by racist white men in a gang which we all know nowadays, or still, as the KKK. Now, some of you boys and girls may have heard this story. Some of you may have not. Men and women also. Some of you may just be interested or want to know more information about that church bombing that happened. And this was in 1963, I believe. This was during segregation and racism. Well, 16th Street Baptist was also known as a meeting place for civil rights leaders and other organizations and such. Well, you have other cities or states that also use their sanctuary as a place for meetings and businesses or civil rights organizations these days also. And well, George Wallace, which was Alabama's governor at the time, he promoted racism and segregation at that time. And while he promoted segregation and racism, it escalated more because that's what the people wanted. Well, 11 days after a federal order had been passed to interrogate Alabama's school system in which the church bombing had happened. Later that night, also, 2 innocent black men were killed on the street. See, when I explained a lot of black churches suffer from losses and things, which I was explaining in yesterday's video, these black men and women, they're just going to church to receive the word of God. But why are they being hurt? Why are they being killed? Just a few months ago, a black church here in downtown Memphis was randomly set on fire, and another set of church thugs stole TVs, guitars, and a drum set. You even got pastors whose names have been lied on and dragged in the mud. And it's all because they're black. It's always the black church, and we don't know why. And it's because they're worshiping God. Well, anyways, back to 16th Street Baptist. Well, thousands of black protesters gathered to mourn and assemble the horrific massacre, and Governor Wallace sent troopers and policemen to remove the black men and women. And fast forward, a well-known Ku Klux Klan member of the name Robert Chambliss was charged with murder and sentenced to 6 months in jail, which is what most of these thugs nowadays do, or nothing at all. They call it slow justice. But I call it they're getting rid of the laws and people's lives. That's what's happening these days, and that's what still happened 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, which led up to segregation. And we never know why this stuff happened. We never know why, but it's because we're black. Now, to wrap up my story here, I've gathered most of my sources from www.history.com/Birmingham church bombing. For those of you who want to know more, and you guys can also find more about the church bombing and other stories, or even have it on CNN also. You have innocent black men in these days, and white Americans also who are innocently being killed because of their skin color, which was what was happening during segregation 60, 70, 80 years ago, like I said. And I'm going to stop here, but I hope you guys have found this interesting. And for those of you watching, please comment, subscribe, run up those likes. We need those likes. We need those likes. Run them up. And we are on our road to 500 subscribers. Please, you guys, get me there. And if I get my 500 subscribers, maybe my first YouTube check will be just enough for me to get my new hearing aids, which I need. They want me to pay $6,000 out of pocket and with insurance for brand new hearing aids, and I already can barely hear myself or when people are talking about me. Talking to me. Sorry. But moral of the story is that you have innocent people these days and ignorant people these days who are just killing or being killed because of their skin color, or because they're going to church to worship God, or because they got a better degree than somebody else or a higher degree. And it's crazy in the fact that segregation has come down these days, but racism is still a big problem these days. I don't know why. We'll never know the why, but it's always a story to a story. And like I said, you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I hope you guys have learned or understanding my Black History series. And what I'm saying, again, this is more in addition to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, President Barack Obama. There's more in Black history. And they say that Black history is 1 month. To me, Black history is every day that we wake up.